Welcome to Delaware Stadium, where the Blue Hens come into today red hot. They're winners of 6 in a row, unbeaten in conference play, and ranked 12th in the country. But today, another CAA test of the Stags of Fairfield come calling. They're looking for the upset and their first CAA win of the year right here on Lax Sports Network. And with that, we welcome you alongside the Beast, Greg Gurenlian. I'm Travis Seldridge. Greg, these two teams met not too long ago. Second meeting in about 3 weeks. Be interesting to see how both teams adjust from that first meeting that wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, if you're Fairfield, the scary thing is Delaware's gotten better. They're firing all cylinders, but Fairfield, it's a new group of guys, new coaching staff. They're starting to move in the right direction. So I think we're going to see a different game today.
That game, by the way, just Fairfield's second of the season a couple of weeks ago, so it's certainly a different Stags team. But they're going to need a different performance from Dylan Beckwith as we look at our players to watch in this one. One of the standouts for this Stags offense, only 2 assists in the first meeting.
Yeah, Beckwith is the piston that fires, and they are going to need him to get going today if they're going to stand a chance in this one.
On the other side of things, Ty Kurtz has had a ton of success in 2 games against Fairfield. 10 points as a freshman back in 2019, 11 points in the first meeting, 21 points combined against the Stags.
Yeah, you can bet that they have him circled on their defensive report today. They have got to slow this guy down. He is an all-world type of offensive player, and he plays within the offense too. He doesn't force it, so they're going to have to be real careful not letting him have another career day.
Ty Kurtz, by the way, not alone in having a standout game in the first matchup with Fairfield. 25 combined points with that attack unit. It's up to Colin Consoli to try to stop that. Comes in the freshman, 3.67 goals against average, but he's been terrific. 6th in the country in saves per game with over 14. On the Delaware side of things, once again, it's Matt KILKEARY, the senior in his first year as a full-time starter. He's 6-1. He's won, of course, 6 in a row with this Blue Hens team red hot. A goals against average under 10. At the face-off X, both teams have a couple of different guys they can throw in, but these are the 2 primary guys. It's Jay Curvada and Frankie Lebetti to take the opening draw, and it's Fairfield on the violation that'll get the opening possession.
Frankie Lebetti's been a lone bright spot for Fairfield this year at 60%. He could really be a catalyst to helping them stay in this game as long as possible and maybe win this thing.
Lebetti going 63% against the Blue Hens in the first meeting, 14 of 22 at the X. He faced both Roland Hockenberry and Jay Curvada in that first matchup. So our first look at the Stags offense today. Coming out of the box, this is Trent Moran. Gets open on the run, and he'd like to have that one back.
That was a really good take from up top. Fairfield kind of lines up in an I formation straight up, and they use the screen and give him whatever way he wants to go, left or right. Chooses left on that one.
This is the Division III transfer, Matt Lestaba. Was a terrific offensive player at Bates throughout his career the last 4 years. Trying to roll inside as the short stick matchup. Now it goes back to the top of the box and back out top to Moran. His pass deflected and knocked down. And here come the Blue Hens in those bright yellow unis.
It's not going to be easy to lose your man today on defense if you're Fairfield.
We got a nice color rush situation going on. Fairfield with the all red and Delaware rocking the bright yellow, almost neon uniforms along with the white shorts. Here is this potent offense for the Blue Hens coming in. More than 14 goals per game. First midfield unit, including Mark Beta. And this is now Charlie Kitchen, the grad student. Little sidewinding shot off the pipe.
I like Delaware's approach right now. They're really spreading the offensive zone out, making these slides really long for Fairfield.
That's Cam Accioni swinging over to his twin brother, Matt. A couple of freshmen out of Ontario, both part of the starting midfield unit for the Blue Hens. Wide open in the middle, a shot in the score for Mike Robinson. You cannot let him that wide open. He's going to cash in every time, and the sophomore has the Blue Hens on the board.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. You can't, let alone a star like this who's an amazing shooter, you can't let any Division I attackman this wide open in the crease. I mean, if you're Fairfield, you need, like we said, Delaware spread them out. And if you're Fairfield, you need to play from the crease out. So make sure you're compact and you don't give up that crease. This offense is talented enough without giving them easy ones.
You just mentioned it, the attack unit, 25 points in the first meeting between Ty Kurtz, Charlie Kitchen, and Mike Robinson. Well, that was Kurtz to Robinson, a couple of early points, but another early face-off win for Frankie Lebetti in Fairfield.
Yeah, Frankie's really good at just, he drives in with the right hand, lifts the left, and then gets right out of there.
Lebetti right in. Kind of hesitated there for a second, rotated around, and then found a spot down that far side alley. Now he'll move off for a sub.
That can happen. You're a face-off guy. You know you're going to get yelled at if you don't pass it to an open guy, but they don't leave anybody open. So you say, all right, let's have ourselves a possession shot.
Why not? Yeah, they had the backup, so they keep possession. And this is Taylor Stroud. Back to Moran. Been able to beat his matchup so far. That one low. KILKEARY goes down for the stop. Nice job in the clear by Reed Kurtz.
Wow.
Reed Kurtz, by the way, this is his first year playing with a pole in his hands. The sophomore out of Ontario, the younger brother of Ty Kurtz, came in as a actually very highly regarded attack recruit, but obviously the Delaware attack is pretty loaded up there, so they wanted to find a way to get him on the field. Reed volunteered, like, hey, you know what, do whatever I got to do, put a pole in his hands, and that you see the stick work already.
Yeah, you love when you see that happen in college.
Whoa, what a move by Robinson, but it's deflected on its way in.
Highly touted recruits will come out, and then their coach sees something special in them and changes up their position, and they become, that's what happened with Joel White at Syracuse. Came in as a midfielder, and now he's one of the greatest defenders in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And anytime you can mention a guy in the same conversation as Joel White in any type of situation, you're probably in good company.
Yeah.
Shows you that it can be done. Here's the freshman Jake Coleman getting his first start here today out of Pleasantville, New York. No career goals, did have an assist in the game versus Hofstra. That was his collegiate debut last week.
Yeah, you're going to have a couple new faces in a trial by fire. We were talking a little bit before pregame. Fairfield's lost a couple key pieces and, got next man up. And that's, Baxter comes from that background of next man up. So he's going to have these guys ready to go.
Beckwith skip passes it across. Kyle Borda trying to beat his man to get the hands free. Gets the right hand free, sent wide. And Greg, you hit on it. No Patrick Drake here today. The standout attackman out of Wilmington, Delaware. Double killer because he's out with an injury, but also because it would have been his kind of hometown team. Behind the back, Beckwith off the bar.
Oh, man.
That would have been spectacular.
That was a great look.
Stags
we talked about it, that Drexel game that you and I did, where they're missing a star player, so the ball actually moved really well.
Oh, that's
and
a
this could happen
great
today too.
Look. Borda across there to Travis Ford, and the Stags are on the board.
This is how they're going to have a chance today. That ball has to stay hot. You've seen a couple shots, guy just dodging and redodging on one man and then shooting with no pass. This is how you beat a good team. When you're on offense, you make the extra look. You're going to find open shots. Make it easier for the shooters.
Travis Ford, a former All-CAA rookie team member back in 2017, had 30 points in the shortened 2020 season as Hervada wins his first face-off. Wins it forward, Hervada. A bounce shot, and he goes into the crease.
Jake will take that to the rack, man. He's got points in every season he's played. He's one of the greatest face-off guys in Delaware history. This rule change obviously threw a curveball at some guys, but Jake's got the talent, and he's got the hand speed right there. Clean win forward and almost a goal.
And I think, Greg, the interesting thing in talking to Ben DeLuca over the last couple of weeks about Hervada is he said, one of the big things is he's healthy, and that has been a tough thing for him in his career, and that's a huge bonus for the Blue Hens if they can keep him healthy throughout the entire season as well.
Yeah, you're right. And I think the limiting factor people have to understand for face-off guys is injury. Your body's not designed to do the same thing 30 times in a row, stationary. And face-off guys sometimes overdo it with reps, and they're injured a lot. So,
nice save by KILKEARY on the shot from Stroud from downtown. Taylor Stroud does have that kind of range.
Yeah, and he's been very successful. And like we just said a moment ago on Fairfield's goal, it's got to come off a pass. You can't just stare down a goalie that good and that big and just shoot it straight at him.
Nice effort there by Stroud. Gets the possession back here for the Stags. Unsettled situation. Moran just wide.
That's the kind of stuff that can get them, not just in this game, but it can turn a season around. If they have success with riding and energy plays, that's infectious on both sides of the ball, and that can really help them in the long run.
The type of effort and the up-tempo style that Coach Andrew Baxter, now in his second season with Fairfield, is hoping to implement. Here's Lestaba, and his pass wide there of Moran, and it's turned over for the Stags.
Yeah, stuff like that, throwing the ball away, that's going to happen in a lacrosse game. The energy plays you have complete control over. And bringing, so look, you get the ball right back, right? So, coaches always say, we don't care if you drop the pass or if you miss a catch or something like that. We want to see what you do when you react to that kind of situation. And when you have a team like this that, to start off the season slow, they're going against a team that is really hot, has a lot of swagger, and beat you badly last time you played. You have to come out in this first quarter and you have to provide more energy than that. Get them wondering, looking in the rearview mirror after the first quarter about, uh-oh, we're in for a dogfight today.
Well, and this is a Delaware team that struggled in the first half against Towson last week, or 2 weeks ago, their last game, 13 days between this game and their last game against Towson. They trailed 9-5 in the half as the Blue Hens come up with a turnover here. Transition chance. Kurtz from downtown, and it's stopped by the freshman. Lost it, though, for a second. Nice effort play by the Blue Hens. Kitchen and stopped by Consoli.
Wow.
A little bit of chaos by the crease for Fairfield as we've got Lucas Peterson, the starting close defenseman, down.
This is a great save. Now, yes, in lacrosse, if the goalie has possession of the ball, you can't hit his stick, but you can come up underneath it and scoop it if it's in that crease as long as you don't step in. So great awareness on the attack and even better goalkeeping play to get that ball out of there.
Colin Consoli has been a tremendous surprise for Fairfield. He was not supposed to be the starter coming in as a true freshman out of New Jersey. Supposed to be James Corsiniti, who's been the starter the last couple of seasons, but Corsiniti was injured throughout the preseason, so he's done for the year. So Fairfield was like, all right, what do we have in goal? They turned to Consoli, and the true freshman has made double-digit saves in his first couple of games and is now regarded as Inside Lacrosse as one of their top 20 freshmen in the country here in the early season.
Yeah, and he's energetic. He gets out. He cuts the angles down. And I think the Fairfield defense early is also doing a good job. Delaware is accepting these long shots. And if you can let a young, energetic goalie get hot, it can do wonders for your team.
Here's Accioni down the alley. Another save by Consoli. Colin Consoli came to play, but a good ride by Delaware to get the possession back. Unsettled situation here, but Kitchen will settle it down as they've got a fresh 80. Kitchen falls down, has it taken away, and the Stags get the possession.
Yeah, if you're Fairfield, that's what you want. You want to get into a roll dodging contest with us one-on-one on defense. That makes our lives a lot easier.
Settling it down is the freshman Jake Coleman. Ian Beckwith play pitch and catch behind the cage. Good swim move, top of the box. Step down shot there, but KILKEARY up to the challenge. So both goalies with some early saves.
Yeah, both goalies right now are being very just stubborn. They're saying, look, if you're going to dodge and shoot off of your dodge from the top, we're going to be ready for it. You have to get the ball. I haven't seen either team really look to try to go from X yet and push the play to goal line extended. They seem to be coming from the midfield, which is pretty surprising for Delaware with their loaded attack.
This is Clay Miller in the midfield. Second midfield unit on with Miller and Drew LENKAITIS. This is Kitchen, and his shot sent wide.
A lot of these shots, they seem kind of like harmless. Okay, we got the backup, let's take another shot. But you also have to remember that the meter is kind of going up for the confidence meter in the goal. And every time you throw those low angle shots and it's a brush off, it's another save for a goalie. That just continues to help his confidence.
Miller, midfielder, takes it behind. Matched up with Brendan Dreyer, the short stick. Now Kitchen, behind the back, just wide. Miller, looking in the middle there to Robinson. Good chance for the ground ball for the Fairfield, but it's picked up by LENKAITIS. Shot clock did not reset, just 4 on the timer. Kitchen is hounded, trying to get the one-handed shot off, and the shot clock expires, but a flag down.
And there's the bailout call you're worried about, right? You can sense it. There's only a few seconds left. You got the guy caught up in a triple team near the crease. You saw one guy almost cross-check him in the head out of excitement and held back, and then that one last hit. This is where you get in trouble when you're a young team that's just dying for a win. See that hit right there? That should have been called. It looks like the flag came out on a makeup call because he missed that cross-check to the helmet. I didn't see anything else there that could have been called, but, that is a huge bailout. They just, that drives coaches crazy.
We got 2 guys in the box, but it is just a 6-on-5. So Delaware goes on the man up here for the 31st time this year. 9 goals, up close to 33% on the season. Nice job getting in the passing lane there by Fairfield. There's Braden Lynch. Lynch a chance at the ground ball now, and he picks it up. Lynch keeps it in here on the sideline, and the Stags able to get the possession, and they can kill off the rest of this man up. Nice job.
You really needed that if you're Fairfield. And I know Coach DeLuca won't be happy with the execution on that. Just throwing a simple, lazy adjacent pass that gets tipped, that'll drive you nuts.
So 5 seconds left on the man up. Coleman will let it expire. Now we are back to even strength, and the Stags on offense. Game tied at 1, 3 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Both teams have had plenty of offensive looks, a couple of good shots. The goalies have been up to the challenge so far. This is Ryan Lancaster in the midfield. Now Beckwith. He was shut down by Owen Grant for the most part in that first game between these two. Just 2 assists. It was a terrific battle between him and a standout junior defenseman for Delaware. Skip pass across, just 2 seconds left on the shot clock. And Lancaster just has to drop it. Always something you got to be careful of there, especially with some of the young players. Lancaster, a freshman, when the shot clock expires, just drop it. And the last thing you need to do is go man down in that situation.
Yeah, and even more so, a veteran move would have been to throw it real quick down to X and just kind of like leave it in the corner of the end zone, right? To give yourself another 5-6 seconds for your transfers. And that's like little tiny stuff, detail stuff. And I'm wondering, because it looks pretty windy down there, I'm wondering if it affects some of the communication that some of these guys are doing. Like when you're on the field and it's windy, it's hard to communicate across the field.
A cool day in Delaware today, as is in much of the Northeast, as that pass is deflected in the middle, and Fairfield comes up with another ground ball. Tyler Wichita.
They've done a great job since that first goal of timing up and stopping any crease intrusion. Not just on the dodges, but also on the passes. They've done a much better job.
Lancaster settles things down as we near a minute to go. Fairfield played this Delaware team tight in the first meeting. The two teams were tied up at 8 before the Blue Hens really put the pedal to the metal, scoring a bunch of goals late in order to make that a 17-9 game. But for the most part, it was pretty tight throughout the first 2.5 quarters. The Stags.
Well, when you watch, sorry, go ahead.
The Stags once again showing that they can play with the Blue Hens.
Yeah, they you know what? When you look at their stats this year, their first quarters have been fine. It's the second and third quarter where they're really getting outshot and outscored. So this first quarter gives them a lot to look forward to, but they have to be cognizant, like you said, of Delaware turning it on. And I think, having Frankie Labetti, he's only lost one faceoff so far, continuing to try to win. If they can get him in the mid-60s today, that would be a massive boost.
6 seconds left on the shot clock. 9 seconds left in the quarter, and there it is. Dylan Beckwith with his first goal here in 2 games against the Blue Hens this season, and one of the top players in Fairfield history makes it 2-1 Stags.
Beckwith, this is a laser to the corner. Perfect placement here. That is tough. That is tough to save. And it came right off of a pass. So you have the goalie moving as you're catching the ball, and then you throw it back to the far corner. That's asking a lot of a goalie to stop.
Beckwith coming into this game 4th all-time in points in Fairfield history. Was averaging 6 points a game a year ago when the season came to an end, and he's got the Stags up by 1 here on the road after 1. A little upset alert early on a Friday. It's 2-1 Stags after 1 here on LSN. Dylan Beckwith for Fairfield scoring right there at the end of the first quarter, and the Stags have a 2-1 lead over the 12th-ranked Delaware Blue Hens after 1 here on LSN. Travis Eldridge, Greg Garentlian back with you from Delaware Stadium. As the Stags got some terrific goaltending from Colin Consoli, the freshman, in that first quarter, as Frankie Labetti wins it forward. Chance, but KILKEARY with the stop for the Blue Hens.
Both face-off guys have won it forward for goals, quick in and out. I know the rules committee was publicly worried about long face-offs, and that certainly is not the case anymore. These face-offs have been quick in and out, so it's been an effective rule change as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, overall, it's been an adjustment, I think, for certain face-off guys in terms of style and trying to figure some stuff out. But overall, I don't know how much, as that shot, another stop by Consoli. Overall, the possession, in terms of the face-off, like, there's still guys that are great who can dominate. There's still guys who can get it and score. It stayed similar as that shot sent wide.
And that's going to happen when there's a skill set. We've said it for years. You can change the rules as much as you want. The problem is they change them every 2 years and the players adapt, but the referees, I feel like they're like 6 years behind. So if they can allow the officials to catch up, it'll continue to get cleaner.
And COVID protocols, too, have affected the way that the officials officiate at the X, trying to keep as much space between them and the players as well. So that's thrown a whole nother wrinkle into the situation.
Yeah, which is fascinating because the women's draw control, their officials are still face-to-face. So.
Heck of a takeaway here. Transition chance sent wide there from Aiden Fritz. Short stick wanted it all. He wanted the cause turnover, the ground ball, and the goal.
Oh, yeah. Anytime your short stick D guy has his elbow pads up on the top of the arm, you know he's a baller.
Bounce shot sent high from Kitchen. Now Ty Kurtz. Talked about it in the open. 21 combined points in 2 career games against Fairfield. 10 as a freshman in 2019, 11 in the first meeting this year. This shot stopped by Consoli again.
Consoli is all over it right now. He's jacked up. He's yelling at his defense. He's all getting them all pumped up.
Another stop, but the rebound finally put home. I mean, Colin Consoli did about everything he could on that possession, but right place, right time is Drew LENKAITIS, and the Westchester, Pennsylvania native has his second goal of the season.
And after the first quarter, I'm sure Coach DeLuca was saying, look, like, we knew this was going to happen. We knew they were going to come out better in this first quarter. We just have to keep playing our game. We have a ton of talent. Just keep firing away.
Nice job to just hang out there on the doorstep for the sophomore midfielder. Went to Unionville High School, not too far from the Pennsylvania-Delaware border, southeastern Pennsylvania. And somebody went early. Lebetti did.
Yeah, that's a tough call because you could tell Hervado was kind of rolling through it, and then Frankie got called for going early. So, that's one of those, sometimes face-off guys, when the whistles are real quick, their body will never get set and stop, and that should be called an infraction, and a lot of times officials miss it.
How about Tyler Burns there? Just jumped the passing lane.
Yeah, that's great pressure, and that's the second time we've seen an adjacent pass either get tipped or knocked away, and Delaware lost both of them. So, that's something that's real frustrating as a coach. You're like, we can't let this team have more possessions. Coach Joe Sperlina with the Lizards used to say all the time, extra possessions. You guys give it away. You can't let teams that are really good have extra shots at the ball. And it can come back to bite you later in the game.
So game tied at 2 as Delaware struck first here in the second quarter. This is Borda. Back over to Cole Barnard. Now Beckwith from the top of the box. Beckwith once again against Owen Grant. That pass somehow almost got all the way through the defense. And it's kept alive here for Fairfield. Borda on the run. Easy stop for KILKEARY. Grant with the ground ball. And he collects and clears it.
Yeah, 13 yards out, drifting to your right, high to high is not going to go against these goalies.
No, especially not today. You hit on Consoli and his communication there as a freshman in goal for Fairfield. And talking to Andrew Baxter, the impression that I got earlier this year was the defense has really bought into him back there. Despite the fact there's been limited action, they don't really even know him all that well, being that he's a freshman. It was a limited fall ball for Fairfield, but they've bought into him and him as a teammate, and that always helps. When the defense is all in on protecting their goalie, those are the teams that are special defensively.
Yeah, I agree. And as a face-off guy, I'm all about face-off guys being good and everything, but nothing juices a whole team up like knowing you have a very good goalie and a very good ex-attacker. Yeah. And when you have a goalie that you can count on back there, it makes everything better.
Oh, nice shot to score. Robinson with his second. Kind of faked like he was going to send that low and kept it high for the third goal of the game for Delaware.
It was actually a really genius move by Robinson. If you look at the scout, they've been shooting low this whole game. And finally, you look low and go high. Little former Blue Hen, little John Grant Jr. in that little head fake there, dodging down.
Robinson, another Peterborough, Ontario native, continuing that pipeline to this Blue Hens program. And that's a subtle little box play that you get from some of these Canadians of the heads-up awareness to look low and shoot high.
Yeah.
Fairfield able to get possession with Lebetti with the face-off win, and the Stags want to keep it. Andrew Baxter using his first time out here of the first half. We'll take one as well. A 3-2 game, Stags ball when we come back. Back here at Delaware Stadium, the Blue Hens with the 3-2 lead here over Fairfield at home. Travis Eldridge, Greg Gorenlian back with you, and this is Delaware getting back into the Delaware team that we've known here in the first part of the season. Back-to-back goals to take the one-goal lead, Greg.
Yeah, a ton of movement on offense, good dodges, smart shooting, picking up trash in the crease, just being relentless. And that's how you win conference games, by being relentless on the little stuff like that. Just energy level high, just out-competing in really important moments in the game. And that's something that we talked about. Fairfield, they get outscored a lot so far this season in the second and third quarter. So they have to continue to trade blows with Delaware, especially with Frankie 5 for 7 at the face-off stripe so far and continuing to do a good job for them.
Fairfield keeps the ball coming out of their timeout. Something that Coach DeLuca continues to remind us when we talk to him before games here for Delaware has been the youth and inexperience. So despite the fact this Delaware team has a lot of expectations, people see the talent, they won 6 in a row. A lot of guys that are still very much learning the college game. A lot of freshmen and sophomores who had seasons cut short last year that are key contributors. So it's been interesting to watch them continue to learn throughout this early part of the season.
Yeah, there's 2 things Coach DeLuca is known for. One is culture, a positive, awesome culture, building that. And 2 is teaching guys how to play the game the right way as a cog in a unit. And everyone knew, I mean, we knew what was going to happen when Coach DeLuca went to Delaware, and you've seen it. Every year he's been there, the winning percentage has gone up. And now he's got these young classes in here that are his guys. This freshman group is really like, those are his guys, handpicked. And you're going to continue to see this culture build.
This is Robinson across to Kurtz. Nice job again by Burns to get into the passing lane, knocked out of bounds.
I think the desire to pass quickly is overarching the desire to make a clean, easy pass. So I think they're in such a hurry to transfer, and that's 3 now adjacent passes knocked down. They're fortunate to get it back. They have to cut out and make that pass easier.
The Accioni brothers not on the same page there. Little off on the pass, and it's picked up by the short stick Dean Ford.
Look at that sellout, 2-man. Man ball, ground ball. That was beautiful. One man takes the ball, one man takes the ground. The man. I mean, that's what we were talking about from the beginning. Energy plays.
Teamwork makes the dream work as KILKEARY stops the shot by Dorsett.
And that would have been a mess if they shot that right into the stick and went back on defense. Like, get the ball. Let's get a good possession now. Let's get a dodge, draw, and bang it. Let's get some, spin it around a little bit. Make that goalie have to move. Beckwith
feeds. Stroud finishes. There's what you're looking for. Stroud is first of the day. This senior ties it up.
That's great. Run with purpose. We always say that at Springfield High School growing up. Dodge with purpose. Don't just jog around out there. Just by running hard. Not towards the goal, just runs hard. You've now drawn the attention of the slide. There's confusion. They're not sure who's hot because there's 2 men in the crease. And it creates an easy goal off of a pass. This is lacrosse at its best.
Nice job by Beckwith to create as well. He's now got a couple of points with a goal and an assist. And Greg, that felt like a big goal for Fairfield to stop the Delaware run here in the second.
Yeah, like we said, they have to trade blow for blow. If they go into halftime within a goal or something like that, they're going to be in a really good mood because the middle of the game has been the tough part for them. So, they're winning faceoffs. When they don't win faceoffs, they're riding hard. They're getting the possessions they need. They're capitalizing.
Good pressure there. Jay Curvada, the faceoff man, still on the field. He gets the possession, and the Blue Hens will keep it. Ben DeLuca takes the timeout. Let me take a look back to that first meeting between Fairfield and Delaware, because as we said, the score being that it was 17-9, maybe not completely describes how close of a game it was. Ty Kurtz, we mentioned, terrific with 11 points, but this game, it was tied up at 8 before Delaware scored 9 of the game's final 10 goals. On the Fairfield side of things, Colin Consoli was once again good. He had 15 saves in the loss. Taylor Stroud, who we just saw score, had 3 goals as well. But at the end of the day, and what it will come down to probably once again here for Fairfield, how do you defend this attack unit of Delaware? Because they average 15 points per game combined amongst them. They're one of the most productive in the entire country. Can you keep them, you're not going to control them, can you keep them relatively quiet in order to give yourself a chance to win?
Well, you can definitely frustrate a highly talented unit. When you are pushing out adjacent, you're not letting them spin the ball quickly. When you see an attack unit moving fast, setting a dodge, the pick comes, they screen, they throw it back to the next guy, bang, bang, bang to the backside. It seems like Fairfield's job so far has been to push out on those adjacents. Don't give you that first easy look. And how many times in the first quarter do we see a dodging attackman for Delaware ends up holding the ball a little too long, gets doubled, tripled, maybe drops the ball, and it's because that pass isn't there right away. So Fairfield's doing a really good job. Once those screens come, or even when they're looking to catch, turn their head and transfer the ball through X, they're pushing out on those passes and making Delaware, turning these attackmen into singular dodgers rather than a cohesive three-man unit. And I think if they continue to do that, if they're successful with this throughout the game, you're going to start to see guys who are used to putting up 4 or 5 points a game getting frustrated and trying to be a little alpha and play outside of their game. And if you're Coach DeLuca, that's what you're warning against. Keep doing our thing. They might want to see how far Fairfield follows them out. He might want to start back cutting, cut back towards the goal and get some of these passes going towards the net.
And we got a crease violation on Ty Kurtz. Just kind of lost where he was. I think he got tangled up with the defender as well, and it turns it over.
That'll also work on defense, confuse the guy into walking into the crease.
Burns looking for that outlet pass to get the clear. Deflected here, and a nice job by Dreyer to go up the near sideline.
Yeah, they took the scenic route, bringing that ball up.
Beckwith back out top. Stroud! Back-to-back goals for the senior, and Fairfield's back on top.
That was a cannon, and it came from a pass from behind the goal. The goalie's turning his head. As he's turning his head, the first thing he sees is this cannon being lit up. Watch this. Turns. As he's getting set, we got a step down. I mean, that is a bullet.
That is a 13-yard step down from Taylor Stroud. And it is an absolute laser when it comes out of his stick. That's what he's known for. Another assist, by the way, for Dylan Beckwith, who continues to be productive. And that's key. You've got your star who's drawing some of the attention behind. And this midfield unit has a bunch of shooters. And when you can have Beckwith able to draw the attention and find shooters, and they're on, that was the recipe for success at the beginning of that first meeting. And once again, the recipe for success here in the first half.
You're absolutely right. I think early on, Beckwith was the game wasn't coming to him. He was dodging a little bit more, looking for his shot. I think he's much better, like you said, at drawing the attention of the defense and then letting the other guys kind of take their shots because they're going to be wide open. You cannot help but ball watch when you have a talent like Beckwith with the ball.
Unforced error for the Blue Hens as Sider threw it out of bounds. So another chance for Fairfield to clear and get another offensive possession. Here comes the long pull. Burns, transition! Scrapes the ice. Tyler Burns, the grad student, puts one home, and it's 5-3.
My goodness, the dad in me was literally yelling wheels as he was crossing the midline, right? Oh, wheels! Splits it up. Rumble, young man, rumble.
How about that? By the way, he's a transfer from St. Lawrence, Division III transfer. Played both football and lacrosse in college at the Division III level. Comes here to Fairfield, and now he lights up the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's a football player all the way.
Great athleticism there as the ground ball picked up by Lancaster. Another chance! 3 straight, and it's Jake Coleman's first goal of his career.
It might be timeout time for the Hens. If you're Coach DeLuca, this is where you grab your guys and say, you want to play around with a conference foe. You're going to get burned if you keep it up. They got that energy right now.
And there is the timeout for Delaware. How about the effort by Ryan Lancaster here on the wing? The midfielder just doing enough to get rid of it, and then a step-down shot.
That's just, that's instinct. You can't even teach that. And that's get it up one cradle, just get it out to open space to you know where your man is. And you can tell they're playing loose right now, right? Fairfield has had a tough go so far this year. And I think if you're Coach Baxter, you're like, come on, man, let's get a fun game. Let's just get an up and down fun game for my guys and let them start to see how good they can be. And you're starting to see them play loose, right? I don't know if in the first quarter, early, if we would have saw that kind of play, the long pull, taking it to the rack, or that extra pass and then just ripping it from the wing like that. I hope we get to see more of it, and I hope Delaware loosens up a little bit as well, because this is where, when you're leading, when you're expected to win, you really start to tighten up. You get a little white-knuckled out there.
Yeah, and this is, in talking to Andrew Baxter, this is the type of lacrosse he wants to play. As you see this 4-goal run for Fairfield, going from down 3-2 to now up 6-3. All the offense for Baxter, it's simple. It's making fast, quick decisions, and when you make the right decisions, which this team is still learning to do, it looks so easy, fun, and fast. It's not playing kind of chaotic offense. It's playing quick, smart, fast decisions, and we've seen that here in this 4-goal run.
Yeah, my good friend Matt Madelon, head coach at Princeton, I remember when he was still at Stevens Tech, and he took over the man up, and he said, kids just need to know what their options are and how to calculate them quickly. And if you give them a specific one or two, here are your two options, just make the right move, and when in doubt, pass it, right? Just get it to the next man. And they're playing loose, you're right.
And Labetti wins another face-off. You continue to mention that. If Labetti continues to stay sharp there at the X, that's a gigantic advantage for Fairfield offensively, especially now with a 3-goal lead.
Yeah, and Hervada has won his fair share of clamps. The things that are going to make guys special with this new standing neutral grip face-off is your ability after losing the clamp to react and still fight for the ground ball. And that's something that Frankie Labetti does better than most people in the country. So when you look at how many clamps he wins compared to how many face-off he wins, he's going to win most of those loose balls.
This is Trent Moran on the wing. Back out top to Stroud. That was ambitious.
All right. That was for Curry range. We're getting a little too excited now.
That's what we call a heat check. Here's Coleman at X, now to Beckwith. He's got a short stick matchup on him here. It's Moran, now Beckwith here on the doorstep trying to fight for the rebound.
Yeah, and that double was coming, man. You would love to see Moran throw that to X. There would have been a wide open goal on the backside.
That was a big time
Easy
stop.
To see from this view, though.
Yeah, well, exactly. Big time stop there for KILKEARY as well. He needed that.
Yeah. But that's also what we were saying. A windy, cold day, it's not as easy for the ex-attackman to just yell one more. That can get caught in the wind. So you end up shooting kind of a turnaround fadeaway against double team.
And so the Blue Hens get a possession here, now down by 3. It's been a flurry of Fairfield offense.
It's been a while since I feel like we've seen this, Delaware on offense.
I feel like I haven't said this guy's name in a while. Mark Beta trying to back down his man, and he scores. The senior takes it into his own hands, makes it 6-4.
This was a smart take. I know, we were kind of harping on banging the ball, but you're sitting here and you're like, all right, you're going to let me back this dude in. I'm 2 feet taller than him, and you're going to slide when I'm at 5-5. That's exactly 5-5 is where every attackman loves to be. When you're that big and you're that strong, you can bully your way in there. And if that slide's not coming, you just take your time.
Beta's 13th goal of the year, the younger brother of Scott Beta, who played his college ball at Rutgers, played some pro lacrosse, now an assistant coach at Lafayette.
Yeah, Scott's a beauty. He's one of the best assistants in the game.
Yeah, great stuff, and had a chance to see his Lafayette team. They ran into a red-hot Drexel team here on LSN a couple of weeks ago, but a lot of promise with a lot of talented freshmen on that roster.
Yeah, Lafayette and Fairfield have a lot of parallels to them.
Yes.
New coaching staffs with young, hungry, athletic guys. You know that they're going to recruit well in the next couple cycles. A lot of promise. It's just about instilling your culture and making everybody buy in to how good they can be.
Coming out of the box here is Shane Osborne. Trying to get it here to Beckwith. Tough. Owen Grant right in there on his hands. Beckwith trying to find that cross box feed. And it's knocked out of bounds. Deflected by Delaware, so it stays with Fairfield with 27 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, watching that play develop, you knew he was going to throw that through pass. If he landed that was an easy dunk.
Beckwith once again an X. Owen Grant has been all over him. And that shot is sent wide. I think they called that a pass.
Yeah, I can't tell. That's what we were talking now with Beckwith is let the game come to you. He doesn't need to force those kinds of plays. The whole defense is turning around and looking at him. He can bang one easy one, and then another pass to the backside and then redodge. If he lets that game come to him and he starts looking for the guys that are getting open because he has the ball, this will be a lot easier game for them on offense.
Abita settles things down here at X. Guy who can play at X, has played attack throughout his career here at Delaware. Slid up to the midfield here with so much talent at the attack unit. There's Accioni, able to step down and score his 11th goal of the season. The freshman cuts it to 1.
This is great patience by Cam here. Ball watching. His defender is real far down in the crease. A little bit of a ball watch. Everyone's staring at the X attackman. Fake. And then change the angle of your shot. I mean, that's a very witty play. That's smart.
That's another one of those Canadian box fakes. They're so used to, in playing box lacrosse up north of the border, so used to having that little quick hitch in tight spaces and then changing the shot angle. And once again, you see it there from Accioni, the freshman out of Ontario, played for the great Hill Academy in Brody, Maryland high school.
Yeah, anything that's attached to Brody Merrill or the Hill, you recruit that guy.
Yeah, and Coach DeLuca got 2 of them. 2 freshmen, both starters, as Moran answers. How about that?
Here we go, baby.
Back and forth we go.
We got a CAA slugfest in the making here.
Trent Moran, he has a pull on him, and he just says, hey, why not?
Yeah, let's do it. Like, these are the types of things that happen when you start to gain confidence and you're trading blows with a top-tier team, and you're like, hey man, we're up by a goal. Let's keep going. Just play fast right now. Like you said, Baxter, just play fast, guys. This game is so fun when you're going at full speed.
And I think Coach Baxter knows that's how they're going to win some of these games. Play free, fun, fast. You got nothing to lose. And it's a Stags team that you sit there 0-3 in the CAA, and we were talking to Coach DeLuca. He's like, I know if our team's 0-3, no matter what your expectations are in the year, your backs are against the wall in the conference. You got to find a way to get some wins here. And so the Stags playing free and loose so far.
Yeah, you're playing with house money, right? Shortened crazy season, pandemic. We're young. We're starting off over 3. Now you got 2 of your starters out today. What do we have to lose, man? Why not us? Let's go out and have some fun.
Beckwith off the end line. Owen Grant, the over-the-head check to strip it away. Goes out of bounds. And it will stay with Fairfield. Last touch by Delaware. Nope. Sorry, we'll go the other way. We had a chance to talk to Owen Grant here this week on LSN, and there's a check that from the first matchup with Beckwith that hit social media of him throwing a little wave to Beckwith as he took his lunch money and then ran away from him. And he said, I wasn't real proud of it, but the main thing I took away from it was Owen Grant taking on that matchup, knowing he's playing one of the great players in the CAA, is Charlie Kitchen's acrobatic shot gets deflected. But he's playing one of the best attackmen in the conference, and he wanted that matchup, and he really continues to show it here today. He is locked in.
Yeah, and look, the swagger's going to happen. These are kids, right? So
yeah. As Tyler Wuchta, the short stick D-Mini, he's got his 3rd goal of the year.
This starts with a really heads-up ground ball, all the way back in the defensive end. And then why not?
Gets the left hand free, bounce shot, and Fairfield's effort here has been spectacular. They are getting to ground balls, they're winning 50-50 balls, and they're getting up and out and taking advantage in transition.
Yeah, and now Delaware's going to the rookie, Logan Primtage. Super fast hands. He can definitely, what Logan gives you is a short, really fast burst in and out, and it might be a good counter to Frankie Labetti's ability after he loses a clamp to hop up and stop you from. In fact, right on that faceoff, Frankie just got called for a hold because Logan was so in and out with the ball and was about to run past him. So that might actually be a better matchup right now if it's not working with Jake Herrera.
Yeah, Blue Hens have 3 options there. We've seen 2 of them. They also have Roland Hockenberry, who's had success in certain games this year.
You're right.
So back down by 3. Blue Hens go back on the attack. Under 30 seconds to go in the half. Skip pass across. Robinson, a left-handed laser is wide. Back up there for the Blue Hens. 15 seconds to go as Beta brings it in from the corner. They scored one late in the first quarter. Let's see if they can do it again. 6 seconds left. Beta rolling near side, just wide. And that will do it for the opening 30 minutes. We got an upset alert here at Delaware Stadium. Fairfield coming in here on a Friday afternoon, and they are fired up. An 8-5 lead here at the break. The Stags running and gunning in that second quarter. They lead by 3 after 2. We'll be back here for third quarter action, but for now, we send you back inside the LSN studios. Welcome back to Delaware Stadium. A little upset alert here on a Friday afternoon as Fairfield, the Stags have come in and taken it to the Blue Hens, off and running with an 8-5 lead over number 12 Delaware after 2. Travis Eldridge, Greg Gorenlian back with you here on Lax Sports Network, our CAA Game of the Week. As we take a look at these first half highlights, it was back and forth early. Delaware had the early lead, but Fairfield finding some offense as they get the goal there going across. And then here, Beckwith getting his first goal in 2 games against the Blue Hens. Greg, though, Delaware seemed to settle in there in the early part of the second quarter.
Yeah, the early start of the second quarter, they started making plays from big-time players. They were not very good at transferring the ball back up the field. A couple giveaways, and then also combined with losing faceoffs, gave Fairfield the opportunity to really make a run. And that's where, if you're Delaware, you have to figure out that face-off stripe. You also have to figure out how can we keep the ball in our sticks so that we're not giving away open opportunities.
Fairfield would go on to score 6 of the final 8 goals of that first half. They had a 4-goal run mixed in there with Taylor Stroud scoring a couple. Jake Coleman with his first career goal, the freshman out of Pleasantville, New York, getting his first career start. And the Stags have a 3-goal lead here at the break. And Greg, we hit on it a little bit in that first half, but Fairfield shorthanded here today in a big way, not playing with starting attackman Patrick Drake, who has 9 points this year. He's out for today. And then you've got a couple of guys, a trio of guys, all out for the season for the Stags team. Jake Timon, the long stick midfielder. Bryce Ford, who has not played this year, but had 25 points a year ago as a freshman. And not Colin Consoli, he's good. James Corsiniti, the starting goalie, has been out for the season. We mentioned him at the beginning. That's why Colin Consoli has gotten the start here in the beginning part of his career. But even without those guys, Fairfield finding ways.
Yeah, and it's not just the talent. Those 3 guys are considered leaders on this team. So, that is a lot to lose. But like we've said, sometimes that brings in the younger guys. The younger guys are coming in. They're like, I'm going to play no matter what because the guy in front of me's hurt. So let's just go out there and do what we do in practice. And I think right there, that's the catalyst right now. Frankie Lebetti's been huge. Not just the way he gets in and out to win the ball to himself, but also the way he battles for ground balls afterwards. It's infectious. You've seen the Wings selling out for him as well. They obviously believe in this guy. So now when you're Delaware, you're saying we got to just stick to our, that was probably one of the poor first halves we've seen them play, but they did this against Towson too, and then they came out and won. So they have that in the back of their mind.
There's Premtaj back at the face-off X for Delaware, and another face-off win. Lebetti trying to get the ball back, but they're able to get the ball to the offense, and Mike Robinson. Lebetti had a lot of success in that first half, 10 of 15, but he loses the opening draw here, the third.
Yeah, and we saw Logan Premtage had a little bit of success when he came in. That's hard, man. As a freshman to come in against a very hot, very good face-off guy, and you're getting thrown there on a cold day at the end of a quarter, and he's coming in and he's handling his business. That shows how much talent and preparation he has.
This is Robinson, top of the box. Gets the left hand free, and the Blue Hens strike to start the third. A hat trick for Robinson.
And this is what Delaware is talking about probably at halftime. You know, we have the talent. We're one of the best teams in the country. We're 6-1. Let's just go out there and play our game and then just tighten up the mistakes. Meanwhile, you have Fairfield, who would desperately wants this win. Do they start looking at the clock already? You know, are they hoping that this second half goes real fast, or are they going to continue to play at a high level?
Robinson, by the way, with his third goal today, tied for third in the country in goals per game, is the face-off win, but is saved there by Consoli.
Every face-off man in this game so far has gotten a shot on goal.
Taking after you, Greg.
They look better than I ever did doing it.
Come on, some of the lizards, Greg Karenlian coming downhill has been good. We got an offsides on Fairfield, turns it over.
And now Delaware has a chance, right? So this was Delaware last half, turning the ball over, making some sloppy mistakes. Now they have a chance to capitalize. If they pump in too early in this half, it mentally erases what they did in the second quarter, and they're able to kind of look ahead now.
Yeah, that was a great first offensive possession for Delaware. They got it around the horn. Robinson gets a really good look, and he cashes in. Let's see what they do in the second possession. This is Kitchen. Now Beta is able to take advantage of a short stick matchup in the first half to get his first goal of the day. Good patience for Beta. Sends it out top. Robinson, shot deflected.
Fairfield is so heavy and looking to slide quickly from their shorties that they almost look like they're playing zone at times.
Skip pass. Robinson stings the corner. A 4-pack for Mike Robinson.
This is a Coach Danowski term, who's a ball player. And Robinson's going to come out here. He's like, players play. Shooters shoot to get hot. Shooters shoot to stay hot. And when you have a shooter like this, you feed him.
He ripped a part of the net. That thing was perfectly placed.
Yeah. And once again, right off of the catch, right? Right off of a pass, catch it and fire it.
Robinson leading all scorers with the 4 goals today is another face-off win for the Blue Hens. And Ty Kurtz to settle things down. All of a sudden, a 1-goal game. Back-to-back goals for Delaware to start the third.
And the catalyst, Logan Premtage, just coming in, letting the guys know, look, we're going to get our fair share of the ball now. So you go out there and play your offense, and we're going to be okay. And now it'll be Frank Libetti's, after taking one on the chin the last couple faceoffs, his chance to respond.
Accioni sends it behind. Now Beta stepping down for the top of the box. Has his stick lifted. Big ground ball won there by Daniel Wilson.
That was great on-ball defense. Just when your opponent lifts his hands to make that feed, you shove and you lift. And then the collapse of the crease off the off-ball defenseman. Great team defense.
Dean Ford takes his time. The short stick D-Mitty. And allow Fairfield to get the offensive guys on. By the way, Dean and Bryce Ford are brothers. And they actually have 2 Ford brothers on this Fairfield roster, but the 2 sets of brothers are not related. So you got 4 Fords, each of them brothers, but all 4 of them are not related.
There's no way they didn't do that on purpose.
That's just incredibly, I mean,
the coaching staff.
Yeah, well done.
They were like, think of the possibilities from a game scouting standpoint.
You got 4 Fords on Fairfield. Good takeaway here for Delaware.
Fords on Fairfield.
Kurtz moves it ahead. And the clear is good for the Blue Hens.
By the way, I don't want to jinx it, but this has been a pretty clean game for a heavy rivalry game. It's been pretty clean defense. Not really any taking chances on slashes or anything like that.
Which is completely opposite to the first matchup between these two, where we couldn't go 30 seconds in the first meeting without a penalty flag coming down, especially in that second half. Delaware was able to take advantage a lot of the man up.
Yeah, you do not want to give this Delaware offense a bunch of man ups.
Kitchen wrapping around, and the grad student's got his first goal. We're knotted up at 8.
So the adjustments were good at halftime. The attack is moving the ball. The attack is dodging from X now more, coming from behind. And look, these guys they're playing their two-man game again. They're feeling really comfortable back there. In the first half, the ball was being dodged from up top a lot, and then the adjacent passes were being pressed by Fairfield, and it kind of threw them out of rhythm. So now they're in rhythm. Now you got a bunch of studs in rhythm. So let's see how this goes. Tie ball game.
Charlie Kitchen now with 3 points, a goal to go along with a couple of assists. Kurtz picks up the ground ball. There's the box player in him.
And this is something, sorry, go ahead, Trev.
No, go ahead.
This is something that, great defense.
Some of the takeaways in this game, once again, great. Flag down. Believe it's going to be a push with possession.
That shouldn't have been called dead. That should have stayed live. So I was going to mention on the face-off, something that you can't really do anymore is clamp and then turn counterclockwise. It takes so long when your opponents are standing and those wings are flying in from the wing so fast. You're better at just clamping and putting the ball, we call it a TTL, just through your legs so you can turn quickly. If you try to rotate against an opponent who's standing, it's tough.
And there's the push for Macchione coming in on the side.
So the reason I said I should have kept going is that it used to be a long time ago when the ball hit the ground, it was dead. But now the other team has to get possession or it has to go out of bounds for it to be called dead. And if you're Fairfield, you'll bump because that could have turned into a 4-on-3 on top of the man-up. Yeah,
we've seen what they've done in transition. They've been sharp. So instead, just a man-up opportunity here for the Stags. You got Jake Coleman at the top of the box. Lestaba, Ford. Here's Ford stepping down. KILKEARY a stop. That was from 15 yards out. That was a long-range bomb.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the one you wanted. I'll never tell a shooter not to shoot, but I feel like the way they've been moving the ball on offense with a little bit more swagger, it would have been better to kind of just take advantage of that man up because you need to stop the bleeding.
They're bringing the double. We should be back to even strength now. As now the Fairfield defense responds. Kitchen sends it across. Nice stop by Consoli. And it comes back to him in the crease. Consoli now up to 9 stops today. Mentioned he had 15 in the first meeting between these two. Nice move there by Kevin McCormick to stop on a dime.
Can we get another wave there too?
We may have. Delaware defense plays with some swagger.
I was going to say, man, my man's feeling himself. We got a lot of game to play.
Game tied at 8 as we near the midway point of this third quarter. 3 straight goals for the Blue Hens to start the second half.
Just as Fairfield had gotten the ball and getting ready to clear it, I was saying how this might be the most important possession of the game for them, and they threw it away. Because if Delaware makes this run and takes the lead,
you're going to
see that. Oof.
Man, that was a laser from Ty Kurtz, and Consoli read it.
He's been phenomenal. I mean, it's almost not fair. I mean, he's going to be here for another 3 years. That's crazy.
And the crazy thing is you have James Corsiniti, who has been the starter for Fairfield, who's been good. As this ball is lost along the sideline, turned back over. Here comes Kurtz. Unsettled situation for the Blue Hens. Robinson off the pipe.
That was such a baller misdirection pass, cutting to the crease.
Tell you what, this Blue Hens team, when they're in transition, some of these attack players with Robinson, Kitchen, and Kurtz, they are so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
And the Robinson shot, we've already seen him score a couple in this third quarter. He's got 4 overall. You can see how he scored 9 goals against St. Joe's earlier this year. When he is dialed, there's no goalie that's stopping some of them.
Oh, absolutely. And you'd have to believe it, too. You have to see it to believe it, to say, oh, a guy can pump in 9. You're sitting there watching the way he plays. You're like, oh, he could totally pump in 9.
I mean, every time he releases it, you think it's going to go in.
Yeah. Now, Fairfield's given the ball away twice on clears. They've had a rough go. There have been a lot of times where guys have been out of position. They don't spread the field. Too many guys end up on the same side of the field.
Got away with one there as Accioni missed it wide. Kitchen, a quick restart. No look. Robinson again. Give him 5.
And this is when Delaware's at their best. I mean, we talk about incessantly how incredible this attack is. And we just allowed their feeder to sit behind the cage with no one on his hands and throw a no-look pass. Right? I mean, how easy is that for 2 absolute ballers, a feeder and a shooter right there? Now, they've erased your lead, all that awesome swagger you earned in the second quarter. This is what you were afraid of during halftime. If you're Baxter, is all that hard work, all that fun we were having, you guys just threw the ball away for 2 straight clears and you gave it up.
4 unanswered goals here for Delaware in the third quarter as we take you through them. And it really, you hit on it, Craig. It's been turnovers for Fairfield. They haven't gotten a lot of good looks offensively. Face-off wins, and Mike Robinson just stinging corners.
Yeah, Mike Robinson just balling out right now. And all of these goals were in different spots.
I mean, he's
playing pig out there.
Yeah, he went near side corner on the first one. There he goes far side. You got Charlie Kitchen, who got involved there in the third goal of the third quarter, and then he stung another one here from the top of the box on another no-look feed from Charlie Kitchen.
Yeah, they're feeling it right now. And, you know, if you're Fairfield, like you had said, right? I mean, you have Logan Premtosh comes out here. I think he's won all but one face-off in this quarter. Then you have the failed clears by Fairfield. They threw the ball away twice in a row. Now we're waving, right? Like, if Delaware sideline erupts because you just erased that, you know, everybody on that Delaware sideline right now is like, okay, now you're all in big, big trouble. You know, we're ourselves again. And I think the only shot we really saw from Fairfield was, you know, like a 15-yarder on man up.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is what has made this Delaware team so good in this 6-game winning streak. They've been able to go on these runs. We saw it against Towson. They trailed 9-5 at halftime against the Tigers, and they found a way. They scored the last 4 goals of the game, including the OT game winner, to win it in the 4th. And this is what you have to be able to deal with when you're facing this Delaware team. Is we got a new face-off man in there for Fairfield. It's Dylan Smith out of Yorktown.
And this is tough, right? I mean, Logan was able to pull this off, but you're asking Dylan now. It's a lot harder to take face-offs when you're losing or the other team's on a run. When you're being asked to come in cold and stop a run, that's a really tall order. But these 2 guys are going to be big-time CAA face-off guys for a long time, so it's cool to see them out there against each other right now.
A couple of young guys battling as Delaware gets another possession. They send the ball behind to Kitchen. Wrapping around, Charlie Kitchen sends it wide.
I love that drive upfield, that wraparound shot. If you watch Charlie Kitchen, he doesn't look at the goal until he's releasing the ball. That's the crazy thing. He looks upfield the whole way and then turns his head and shoots at the same time.
Accioni gets his step. Shot deflected before it got to the goal. But Robinson there for the ground ball. Under 20 seconds of the shot clock for the Blue Hens. Accioni swings it, and Kurtz finds some room inside the pipe. 5 in a row for Delaware. They're up by 2.
Yeah, somebody better tell Fairfield to stop worrying about looking at the writing on the wall, because look at all this space. No gloves on the Dodger, nothing on the shooter. They're backpedaling on defense, and they're hoping that the Delaware shooters miss. They're not out there actively getting their sticks in the passing lanes. They're not hustling and breaking down right on the hips of their opponents. They're hoping Delaware makes a mistake, and Delaware is not going to make a mistake.
No, not with this attack unit. Kurtz now with a goal and an assist today after putting up 11 points in the first meeting between these two this year, and a violation on Fairfield. So once again, this Blue Hens attack unit gets the ball, and this is the danger with Delaware. When they win faceoffs and this offensive unit keeps getting possessions, they can just wear you down.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very easy recipe. You're getting the ball back, and the other thing about it too is, imagine an offense was just out there. The defense has to go back out there now for at least another 80, 90 seconds.
Oh, they gave it away. That was a good look. Robinson drifted a little too far in. He was wide open on the backside.
Yeah, you're right. And Fairfield has to capitalize on this clear. They have to get the ball up and out of the offensive zone. They need an offensive possession. Even if they don't score, they just need a valuable possession that gives them a little bit of time to catch their breath on the defensive side of the ball.
It's like in football, you got an offense that is just pounding the rock with the running game. It's at some point your defense just needs a rest. Can't keep going 3 and out. This is Stroud from the wing. He's got a couple of goals, and right into the stick at KILKEARY. That's a tough angle shot from the midfielder.
Yeah, and you can't just pull and pray right now. Like, what you have to stay within your offense, and we talk about it all the time in this sport. When things are going right or things are going wrong, you have to continue to stick to the plan. And, you know, right there, just bang it one more time, man. You got plenty of time on the clock.
Robinson, a 6-pack. Blue Hens are feeling it.
I mean, he might get 10 today. Look, he's just clowning with folks now.
I mean, Mike Robinson shoots it with enthusiasm. And with Mike Robinson on campus, you're going to get a workout if you're working the belt duty at a Delaware men's lacrosse game.
She doesn't look too excited about having to be the one to do that right now.
It's like when the mascot's got to do push-ups, and if it's like the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, like you're doing a lot of push-ups. Got a whistle.
I'm interested to see what this call is. It looked like Frankie Lebetti was pushed with possession from behind.
We do have a penalty down, penalty flag down.
I really believe that if you just let Frankie continue to do his thing, he'll catch up and he'll make this an even fight. He's just so good at scrapping. Yeah, it's got to be a push with possession there.
It is a push on Jason Sider. So another extra man chance for Fairfield. 0 for 1 in this half. 0 for 2 on the day.
Now, if you're Coach Baxter, if you shoot from outside 13 on this, you're cut.
Ford was testing that for a second. Nice job deflecting by Kurtz. Got into the passing lane. Lestaba comes back to get possession. We're back to even strength, though. Look out.
Oh, man.
And what an effort play there. Coming out of the penalty box for Delaware was Peter St. Jem, and now he shoots it wide. Rebound by Grant, no good. about as close of opportunity as long pole Owen Grant is going to get all year. He was right there on the doorstep.
If you don't think they're putting that on the big screen in the fill room on Monday, you're out of your mind.
Owen Grant does have a couple of goals this season, including a terrific end-to-end highlight reel one against Drexel. Kitchen, little sidearm pass. Robinson trying to get that left hand free, and he has his stick taken away.
Yeah, Coach DeLuca had nothing but great things to say about Grant. Just his talent level, but also his effort and his projection at where he believes he can be. Special player.
Really, really special player. Great job handling the pole as well as it flagged down. Fairfield's going to get a penalty coming up. As Beckwith finally touches the ball. I don't think he's touched the ball really in this third quarter. Owen Grant again. This guy is a cause turnover machine.
Yeah, if I'm Beckwith right now, I know the alpha mentality is to keep going at it, but he is so talented, and regardless of how the matchup's going, the rest of the defense understands how good he is. He needs to use that to his advantage. Catch, sprint with purpose in any direction you want. Get the defense to turn their heads and allow the backside cutters to get open. I think as a feeder first, he could really be devastating if he plays within the system.
We're going to get Ty Kurtz on the penalty. I thought it was Robinson here. I think it was.
That looks like a trip.
It was definitely Robinson. The officials are going to put Ty Kurtz in the box, and Ty's like, wait, what? I didn't do anything. But they get him on a push. Quick shot, deflected, and it's right into the stick of KILKEARY.
I can tell you from experience in this sport, if you swing your stick with one hand 3 times in a row, something terrible is going to happen.
But somehow Mike Robinson, who did swing the stick, is playing here man down. And now we are back to even strength. Robinson's like, hey, they didn't call me for it, so we're good.
Yeah, my roommate's over in the box. It's all good.
So Blue Hens, we're under a minute to go in this third quarter, working on a 6-0 shutout in the second half. Completely shifting this game from down 3 at the break to now up 3 as we look ahead to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, man, the third quarter continues to be, a strong spot for Delaware and a weak spot for Fairfield.
And once again, second game this year between these two. We were knotted up at 8 apiece at one point, and it has been a run for Delaware. Robinson again! He's got 7!
Man, this is like when you're playing Madden and you have like a 99 quarterback and you just keep throwing bombs. He touches it. He knows it's going in. He's like, where do I want to put it? Yeah, there we go.
Goes 5-hole, it looked like, on that one. Mike Robinson, who does have a 9-goal game earlier this season, is working on a 7-goal performance here through 3 quarters. Labetti trying to get some sort of momentum for Fairfield at the face-off X. Loose ball, still loose, 7 seconds. Labetti tracks it down, and do we get a quick timeout? No, we got a whistle. We're going the other way. 4 seconds left for Delaware. Gonna have to give this a heave. McCormick winds up, and that's how the third quarter will end. What a performance from Mike Robinson in this third quarter. Guy putting on a show. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. He's got 7 goals today, and Robinson and the Blue Hens in business. They lead by 4, entering the fourth. Welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter here, and this is a little flashback for you. Earlier this season, February 23rd, Mike Robinson put on an absolute clinic against St. Joe's. The sophomore out of Peterborough, Ontario, scored 9 goals in the 16-13 win. And he's working on a similar performance here today. He's got 7 goals through 3 quarters as the Blue Hens have a 12-8 lead at home against Fairfield as we get ready to start the 4th. Travis Eldridge, Greg Gorenlian back with you. And Greg, some of these shots look very similar from what we've seen today.
I mean, his shot looks exactly the same regardless of where he's going to release it and where he's aiming. And if Fairfield doesn't want him to get a new personal record, they better call in the National Guard, because Logan Premtosh has been a game changer at getting possessions for them. And Fairfield's been turning it over. It's made it a very easy recipe.
Great ground ball there by Joe Spears, and another offensive possession for the Blue Hens. The face-off success has completely changed this game. Frankie Libetti won 66%. He was 10 of 15 in that first half. And as soon as the face-off battle shifted, the rest of the game has shifted here today.
You're right. And a lot of this new standing neutral grip face-off thing, when guys were on a knee, it used to be just fastest right hand to the ball would win most of the time. Now, there's so many different styles. There's so many different little nuanced things guys are doing. And it really is a style matchup.
Ty Kurtz had a good look inside, but he has it stripped. Accioni tries to keep it alive and able to track it down around midfield. He is in all sorts of trouble.
That started to look like a freshman initiation gauntlet there for a second.
He was surrounded by red jerseys. That is not what you're looking for, and I think he may have stepped on the midfield line. So Fairfield gets a much-needed possession early in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, probably out of self-preservation. You don't want to be in that blender too long.
No. So let's see if the Stags can get some offense going. They scored 6 goals in the second quarter, took a 3-goal lead into the half, but they've yet to score in the second half. Stroud down the alley and now sends it behind. Beckwith out top. Shot stopped by KILKEARY. Rebound, and there is right on the spot is Beckwith. He's got 4 points today. That is 2nd goal.
That was a phenomenal shot. I mean, if we can see that in slow motion, I mean, that's threading the needle. Whew. Gorgeous to the top left corner on the run. He's actually jumping towards the front of the field, giving himself slightly more angle. That was great.
The first goal for Fairfield since there was a minute left in the first half. Stops the 7-goal Delaware run. And he had a violation on Fairfield on Dylan Smith before even the faceoff was taken.
Yeah, one of the things that they put in the memo at the beginning of the year was that if you line up incorrectly in an egregious manner, whether you're leaning really heavy or your hand's on the plastic or whatever, they're going to blow it dead and just go the other way. And I'm a huge fan of that because guys know if they're lining up correctly or not. And it just speeds it up.
So another offensive possession here for the Blue Hens. By the way, Mike Robinson, 7 goals. He scored 5 of them in the 3rd quarter alone. This is Nick Jessen, who takes a shot after he sends it high.
Fairfield will be physical in this 4th quarter. You can guarantee it.
Kitchen rolls, sends it out top. Robinson stopped by Consoli. Just kept it out.
Everybody's shocked that was saved. We didn't know if that was possible with the way he's been shooting the ball.
Oh, Owen Grant laying the lumber at midfield. Skip pass across, turned right back over though.
How many Owen Grants are out on the field today? I feel like he's got omnipresence at this point. Look, he's back in the crease already.
Yeah, he goes end to end there on that play. He gets the turnover, goes offensive, and then he's quickly back on defense. Ford sends it high, and Beckwith there for the backup. By the way, Mike Robinson just today added to the Tewaaraton watch list. They must have been watching his 3rd quarter as Beckwith's shot stopped.
He better be on that list.
One of the top goal scorers in the country. came into this game tied for third with just over 4 goals per game.
It puts you in such a tough spot because if Kitchen's driving with the ball, do you slough off of him or do you leave him on an island? We saw him get an island earlier, right? If he's one-on-one, he's just going to drive upfield and shoot. But if you slough down, he's then going to pass it to Robinson for an open shot. So what you have to really do is fake your slide and then recover before the ball gets there. And that's a lot to ask a defense to do. And it's also a lot to ask a goalie to constantly have to keep saving those shots when he does get it loose.
Skip pass across. Kurtz down to Kitchen. There's another one. Terrific ball movement for the Blue Hens. They're back up by 4.
This is what every single college and high school and every coach at every level wishes their offense would just do, right? You dodge, pass it across, pass it one more on the backside. Goal. That's lacrosse offense 101. And a lot of times guys will force it because they want to get that assist. But if you can just count on that second pass with this kind of talent, I mean, I don't know how you stop this attack, especially if they're getting their fair share of the possessions.
By the way, with that goal, that's the 5th point today for Charlie Kitchen. He's pulled into a tie with Curtis Dixon for 4th all-time at Delaware.
Dixon, one of the all-time beauties of our sport.
Big hit there, and Fairfield frustrated, as you can imagine.
Man, you hate that. That is the worst. That's the worst situation in lacrosse is when a guy is running for a ground ball in front of you and you check his stick and somehow get called for a push from behind. It's the worst.
So another Blue Hens possession. I mean, we've seen it again today. This attack unit, when it is clicking, they are so difficult to defend. Kitchen 5 points, Kurtz 3 points, Robinson the 7 goals.
Yeah, and we go back to the face-off. Like, if you're winning your fair share of face-offs, it's not as daunting, but it's so defeating when this team is so good and then they keep winning the ball.
Backside, Kurtz couldn't get it on frame. Robinson comes up with the ground ball.
Trav, that's the other thing I've been noticing. I mean, when you talk about winning a lacrosse game, it's winning face-offs, winning the ground ball war, winning the penalty war. And it just seems that we've seen this shift in the second half where every loose ball just happens to go Delaware's way right now. And they're swarming, and it's a lot easier to swarm when you're winning.
Beta moves it along. Kurtz over to Robinson, deflected in front. Nice job wearing that one by, I believe it was Lucas Peterson. That is not a shot I'd want to get in front of.
And it's cold, man. That it hurts a lot more when it's cold out. But Fairfield still got juice, man. They still got wheels. They're still working hard. If they clean it up, they get rid of those turnovers, they can get right back in this game. I believe in Frankie Lavetti able to win some faceoffs down in the 4th quarter here.
Yeah, look, they scored 6 goals in a quarter already in the 2nd. This Listava coming out of the box, sends it around, skip pass back out top. Coleman had a really good look, and he was looking for Beckwith instead. And Beckwith can't keep it in.
Yeah, it was a good look. You can't fault that.
Loose ball. Stags push it forward. Nice play. But they turn it right back over. That is tough luck.
Yeah, I feel like that's been the story in the second half. The effort's there. The sellout plays are there. And then they make a big ground ball and then maybe, they throw it away. Or they battle, they ride hard, and then they push someone from behind. Like, it's just the complete play hasn't been there.
Sorry, I should correct myself. That's Benjamin Rivera who's been flanking Robinson here in the 4th. Team number 36 in the red jersey. Not letting Robinson get too much space after the performance he had in that 3rd quarter. This is Clay Miller. In front, shot stopped. Nice save by Consoli. That's number 14.
That was a huge save. Point blank.
So let's see if Fairfield can get something offensively. Lestaba a step and a shot, and he's in the crease. Sorry, not Lestaba. That was Coleman again.
I can't tell if he would have stepped offsides. Okay.
Offsides.
It looks like they realized it late.
Yeah. Yeah, when the offsides flag is down by the 20-yard line, it usually is a little late. I will say with the jackets for the officials, I think sometimes the flag gets lost there in the pocket.
Yeah. I wonder how many times Baxter yelled to count them.
So it's Max Paparosi starts with it. Sophomore out of New Jersey. And now up top to Coleman. Lestaba. Big man-up opportunity. Fairfield's had a couple here in the second half, and they just haven't been able to take advantage. Ford thought about that 15-yard step down again. This time it's Stroud, and KILKEARY stops it. 12 saves for Matt KILKEARY in goal. Nice swim move by Fritz. That'll fire up a sideline.
Yeah, you're up by a few goals. Your D mid throws a juke, puts everybody in a great mood. That man up by Fairfield, I mean, they kind of just sat out there on the arc and just kept throwing the ball around in a circle. There wasn't a ton of movement. There wasn't any kind of threat inside. Going high to high from the corner to a good goalie, I mean, it's tough.
Here's Accioni, and a little miscommunication there. Throws it away. Fritz. Nice moves. Let's see if the Stags can get one here.
Yeah, if they're going to come back, they need to get one now. They definitely need one now.
Coleman. Back out to Stroud. And I'm not sure where that was going.
Yeah, that slipped right out of his stick.
Oh, we're going back. Ty Kurtz can't believe it. They're gonna have to. They bring this back because it's a over and back, and that's a killer for Delaware. Because Ty Kurtz is like, look, man, I got 2-on-1.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, that should be a play on. I don't know if that is the rule. That's fine. I just don't understand the point of it. It slows the game up.
So Accioni now with about 5.5 to go. Blue Hens 8-1 run in this second half, and another possession. Beta in front. Great feed. It's Robinson picking up an assist.
This is the point of the game that can get away from you now. Like, you had your run in the second quarter. You felt great going into halftime. You know, the real Delaware showed up in the third quarter. Now you're down by a few. So now maybe you go for that double team unwarranted. Maybe you slide a little bit late and you to hit a guy as he's passing it, and you leave a wide open man inside. Like, that's where the wheels can really come off the bus. So they got to be smart about this.
Once again, it's Dylan Smith out there for Fairfield. And Smith wins the ground ball, but he loses it. And right there to pick it up is guess who? Logan Premtage.
And that's like a heads-up play as a freshman. That's just understanding the face-off position. He's going against a backup guy who is kicking his feet back on the whistle. So instead of doing the clamp that he's been doing, he breaks it real quick. Easy win.
Charlie Kitchen, tic-tac-toe from Ty Kurtz. Sixth points here for Kitchen, tying Curtis Dixon. here in the all-time record books.
I mean, that's effortless, man.
And you see the all-time record books CAA-wise. Curtis Dixon and Charlie Kitchen now all tied up 212 points.
Look at the studs on that list, man.
Right? Will Manny on there. Ryan Tierney, obviously still playing. He has been terrific. You look at this CAA gauntlet, and Greg, we were talking about it before. Some of the attackmen playing right now in the conference, they are fun to watch. We've seen Robinson, Kurtz, and Kitchen here for Delaware, as that one's thrown away. Dylan Beckwith for Fairfield is one of the best in Fairfield program history in terms of points. And then, obviously, what Ryan Tierney has done at Hofstra throughout his career is special as well.
Yeah, and it's going to continue. I love this conference. Like, it's just wild every year, the amount of talent, but like it continues to be that way because the coaches are so stellar, and they're going to recruit ballers.
Nice individual effort here. Accioni.
Just like he wrote it up, I'm sure.
Have the ball taken away, pick up the ground ball as you're tiptoeing the sideline. Sure. 4 minutes to go in this one. By the way, we get to see two more good teams in the CAA tomorrow. Drexel and UMass, noon Eastern time here on LSN. As Charlie Kitchen said, enough with that stick. Beta off the pipe.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that battle. Drexel scoring about 3 touchdowns in their game against Lafayette.
Yeah.
Jimmy Coyta really coming into his own at the stripe. And UMass is just phenomenal. I think they're going to make a late season run.
Big hit. We got a flag down. Kinsoli makes another stop. Delaware's going to go in the man up. Yeah, and I think you're right. I mean, UMass lost to UAlbany. And in talking with Greg Cannella this week, he's like, look, Deogananacoke, we knew you can't stop the kids from reading what they're seeing on social media. And so they look and they see that UAlbany's got a couple of good players out, and we're feeling good after a couple of wins. And they came, we weren't maybe completely ready for that Great Danes team, and they beat us. And so they bounced back with a big-time performance on Tuesday in a really dominating win against Hofstra here in CAA play. It'll be fun to watch them here tomorrow as they head to Philadelphia as you get another look at the penalty.
Yeah, so much about this sport at the collegiate level is about confidence and being comfortable in where you are in your team and what your role is. These people forget, these are kids, man. 18 to 22-year-old kids. When there's confidence, there's a chance to do something special. But when you get a little overconfident, things can go south real quick.
It's a delicate balance you have to live on as a head coach and a player in college lacrosse. Well, there's all sorts of confidence here. Ty Kurtz, another goal.
Yeah, great feed to the backside of the crease, a little twister action in the corner.
JP Ward coming in and picking up the assist on the man up. I mean, that's the thing about Delaware. You got one game where Ty Kurtz goes off for 11 points. You have another game where Mike Robinson goes off for 9 goals. And then you got a game where Charlie Kitchen goes like 4 and 3. I mean, that you can't, there's almost no way you can take all 3 of them out of the game.
What's crazy is Delaware has a very talented midfield.
Yeah.
We don't talk about them enough because of how insane the attack is.
Another face-off win. Sider tiptoes the sideline. Just took his eye off it, did Kurtz.
This is such a big situation for Delaware as they're looking to make this a special season in May, and having someone like a true freshman face-off guy come in against one of the better face-off guys in the country and have a phenomenal game and lead you back. That experience is going to pay off so much in the coming weeks.
KILKEARY with his 13th save of the game. As Owen Grant goes the one-man long pole clear. Soaking checks. I continue to be so impressed with his game.
Yeah. Yeah, he never looks panicked.
You've got a Fairfield player down, trying to deliver that hit around midfield. It was Travis Ford. Or excuse me, not Travis Ford, Trent Moran, number 29 for Fairfield.
You know, this is something on both sidelines right now where you're like, look, we're pretty sure we know how this game's going to end. Let's play hard, let's play smart, but please don't get hurt in the last 2.5 minutes of this game.
Yeah.
Especially if you're Fairfield. You're already down 2 studs.
Just trying to give that.
I don't know if his helmet hit the ground or...
He's able to walk off, a little bit of help, and be checked out on the sideline as we're under 2 minutes to go. Robinson on the wing. Got a short stick matchup, look out. Robinson going right-handed that time and found the side of the cage. Just wanted to show the versatility. He can shoot right and left.
For those tour voters later in the year.
As you mentioned, they must have watched the third quarter because he was added to the Tour-Ton watch list today. As there's a goal for Fairfield and a flag down.
There you go. Give your team something to look forward to in film, something to play off of for the next game. Good effort.
It's Dean Ford, the sophomore out of South Salem, New York. Third goal of the year for the midfielder.
Great placement in that bottom corner too. So it's gonna be a late hit. So I don't think it's gonna be a face-off.
It's 1 minute. So a man-up chance for the Stags with 1:19 to go. No face-off because it was happened after the goal. And so the Stags start with it with a 1 minute extra man. There's one, a rip from Lestaba. He's been quiet today, but quiet no more.
I mean, that was what we're looking for. Bang it, catch it right off the pass and shoot. And man, this had velocity on it for a quick shot like that to generate this much force.
Matt Lestaba was an all-time goal scorer at Bates. He tallied his 300th career point on Friday night against Hofstra.
That was a laser.
Yeah, he's a guy who can fill it up. He had 13 points in an NCAA tournament game against Amherst on 9 goals and 4 assists back in 2017. So he's a guy who can fill it up.
I'm really impressed with the faceoff men. You know, all 3 of them for Delaware. Trey Wilkes is the faceoff coach at Delaware. He has all 3 of these guys. Great technique, varying their moves. They're fully prepared for who they're playing against. That's why he's so good at what he does.
Fairfield picks up the ground ball as we near 30 seconds to go. Another chance here. Cole Barnard stepping into one, shoots it wide. And I think, is that Owen Grant? No, it's not. I was about to say, that would be a fitting way for this one to end. It was Kevin Lynch in there, number 41, as it's turned back over. Stags trying for one more chance. That one thrown away. So Fairfield going to drop to 0-4 here in the CAA, 2-5 overall. The Blue Hens staying perfect in conference. This was a 3-goal deficit at the half. But how about that third quarter from Delaware? A 7-0 run for the Blue Hens as they go on to win. They sweep Fairfield here in the season series, 16-11 your final. Make it 7 consecutive wins for the Blue Hens.
Delaware is for real. And they're going to be challenging those top dogs the whole rest of the way.
by the way, the 7 consecutive wins for Delaware. The most consecutive wins for them since 2007, and that 7-game winning streak was the one that got them to the Final Four that year. Back in 2007, came to an end when they lost to Hopkins in the national semifinals. This Delaware team hoping that this kind of run can run them deep into May, and they look every bit the part of a top 15 team in the country, the 12th ranked team getting a win. Greg, final thoughts from what we saw here today at Delaware Stadium.
Fairfield has the talent. Fairfield has the hunger. They just need to execute. Delaware is one of the better teams in the country. This is one of the scariest attack lines I've seen in a long time from top to bottom, and they are going to make a run at this thing. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Another terrific performance from the attack unit at Delaware. Charlie Kitchen, 6 points. Mike Robinson, 7 goals and 8 points, leading the way for Delaware's big win. Once again, your final score here from Delaware Stadium. The Blue Hens 16, Fairfield 11. Thanks for watching the CAA Game of the Week here on Lax Sports Network. For Greg Gorenlian, our producer Dylan Hand, and our entire crew, I'm Travis Eldridge, saying so long from Delaware. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, noon Eastern time from Philadelphia, as Drexel hosts UMass. But for now, enjoy the rest of your Friday.